like-minded individuals that are going to push each other to be better, to strive for more. Because if you're alone, if you're still in the same place with the same people, you ain't gonna get nowhere. They're not in the same frequency. They do not think like you. They're still stuck on stupid. They're still stuck on their old ways. They're still stuck on their old behavior. So they're gonna be bringing you down. They're gonna bring all the negativity that's not needed. So if you don't have a team, if you don't have a group, if you're not in a community that's gonna, you know, motivate you and that's gonna ground you to stay on your purpose, to stay on your path, it's going to be easy for you to deviate from the plan. This has been happening time and time again with a lot of people that start the new year, new me. The reason why they fail because their system that they're running is not strong, it's not solid, it's weak. Their system that they're running is weak, and it's in all reality, it's not even the system. It's their thoughts, their emotions, their feelings that get in the way. They're talking themselves out of doing what they gotta do. They're convincing themselves of what they gotta, you know, of the excuses that they think about and the excuses that they validate, so they could excuse themselves from putting in that work that they were supposedly too tired, that the body couldn't do no more. You're telling yourself this. You're telling yourself that you're weak. You're telling yourself that you're tired. You're telling yourself that you're hungry. You're telling yourself all these things that are helping you quit. You're telling yourself all these things that all that shit's gonna do is just bring you down. It's gonna talk you out of like the plan that you had. It's gonna talk you out of doing what you gotta do for that day. So your emotions ain't in control. Your feelings ain't in control yet. That's why you need that coach that's going to talk you out of all the bad decisions you're going to have when you're stumbling across, any situation, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your fitness, whether you plateau, whether you just having a bad day and you start thinking negative and you hit up your coach and you address it, or the weigh-ins that it's, every Friday for me is weigh-in for all my team members. I go over the whole roster, and I'm making sure that they're losing 2 to 3 pounds. If they plateau, if they come and tell me, oh, I didn't lose this week, then we're gonna address it. If they come into a plateau, and they're tracking their meals or hitting the workouts, then we're gonna address it. We're gonna see what adjustments can be made. So they have the help, they have the accountability, they have the backup from a coach that's gonna push them to the next level, that's gonna push them, to see to find the solution, instead of like you being on your own and quitting on yourself because you just don't understand. You just don't know what moves to make. You do not know what's going on, and most of the time you don't have the time. And most of the time it's laziness. You won't go back and do the research. It's easier for you to quit than try to find the solution. Try to go and back to the drawing board and see what the problem is, and then you gotta put in the work and see if that's gonna work. And it's just a lot of time and energy wasted. So a lot of times people don't even want to go there. They rather just quit on themselves. They rather just blame the plan, blame the blueprint that they got and that they read, half-assed it, and they just barely read the, half of it, and all of a sudden they go off to the races and they end up hitting a wall. That's pretty much what's happening now. There's everybody that has a blueprint of whatever, wherever you got it from, it's not the blueprint that's the problem. It's you. It's that you talk yourself out of like doing it. You talk yourself out of like knowing that it's never going to be optimal. It's never going to go as planned. You're always going to be, you're never going to be always like motivated. You're going to wake up not wanting to go to the gym, not wanting to track. You're going to have those bad days, the good days and the bad days, but mostly, it's going to be a lot of bad days, because when you're trying to change for the better, there's going to be it's going to be a bumpy road ahead of you. When you're trying to do better, best believe, man, you're going to be tested the most. So that's the problem with a lot of people, is that The accountability is king, man. I cannot stress this enough. How much a coach and a mentor is so important, because I had to hire a coach and a mentor at 38 years old. And the reason why is because just I didn't have the time to do the research. I didn't have the time to really dig deep and see, what the nutrition was all about, how the breakdown was all about, what was macronutrients all about, until I was taught. I applied it. Once I applied it, I learned my body. I learned what the macronutrients did for the body, protein, carbs, and fat, in a structured manner for me that made me lose that 70 pounds that I had to lose. So once I realized, that a lot of it is that we never learned it. Nobody taught us. We never even were curious enough to learn how to eat to get the body that we want. We thought that it was just working out, lifting weights, and all of a sudden, magically, you were going to get the results. And most people, all they did was, they gained some size, but you gain a lot of fat with it. That's why a lot of people have that size, but you still have a big stomach. So you call those people fat buff. Those people, it's just overate. They overate. They went to the gym, obviously, but at a certain point, it's gonna bite you in the ass. At a certain point, that's what happened to me. It bit me in the ass. I was, solid. I carried the weight well, but my stomach was just, it's out of control. You were not able to outwork a bad diet. You won't be able to outwork a bad diet. So what's gonna happen is that you're just gonna store a lot of it as fat. And for a lot of men, it just goes to the stomach, the midsection, and that's where you start creating these love handles. And a lot of people get it like everywhere, so you just can't pinpoint where you want to get rid of the fat from. There is no spot reduction. So when you go after a fitness journey, you gotta understand, man, you're gonna get, wherever you have fat, that's where you're gonna start losing fat from. So a lot of people that think that they're going to come in, they're just going to lose their stomach. Well, let me give it to you straight, man. You're not going to only lose your stomach. You're going to lose fat from all over. And that's where people, get confused. That's where people, they think that something's going wrong, that something's not happening the way it should, because they're not losing weight from the midsection. They start losing it from the face. They start losing it from the arms, the chest. A lot of people don't understand that, you don't have a chest that's developed. You're already tapping into having man boobs. So the midsection is going to be the last part to go. And a lot of people, that's why they quit. They start seeing, them getting smaller from the arms, the shoulders, their face, and they start looking a little funny because they're not used to seeing themselves in, that thin, that skinny. And that's another reason why they quit. So the coach is there to tell you, pump your brakes. You got to keep on pushing. Everything's going to go back to normal if you follow the blueprint to the T. There's a process. Everybody has to pay the piper. Everybody has to go through it. Everybody has to pay their dues. Once you get your body in control, you're going to bounce back. You're going to start introducing carbs. You're going to start, getting that size back that you want, but obviously, in a controlled manner, in a structured manner. Your face will start, normalizing again, in a structured manner. You're going to start, gaining some good size, some good weight without fat. That's the whole key here. It's a process and it takes a time. It does not happen overnight. So we got to attack the mindset, knowing that this is a lifestyle. It's not an overnight overhaul. Once we get that, once we understand that, we're going to win at life. So the whole point here is that a coach and a mentor are key for you to succeed in this life, because without it, a lot of times you're not mentally strong, and you will talk yourself out of doing a lot of shit that must be done, that the reason why you're tapping is because your feelings, your emotions, are in control. You're not disciplined enough to shut it down. You're not consistent, and the thing is that there is no way around it, There is no way that you're going to be able to get that outcome that you want by doing what you want to do. So wake up and realize that. Run it.